All right, this is Juicy Annie from Sorry for the Blog, and I'm here with Olivia King.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Yes. I read a lot about you and listened to some of your music, but for those of you who don't know who you are, want to tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name's Olivia King, and I am a pop soul singer. I'm from Warwick, Rhode Island, and I just released my, we'll call it debut single, In My Head. So that's what we're really pushing now.
Okay, awesome. What went into the creation of In My Head?
I started that, so In My Head was super easy. Some songs it takes years and you're tweaking and you're going back and you're working on all different things, but In My Head was so simple. I had the guy who wrote the majority of the song. He sent me an email, said, "Do you like this beat? It sounds like you." I said, "Yeah, I love it." He's like, "Okay, come to the studio in Jersey tomorrow." I'm like, "Okay." So we're about to head there, and he's like, he texts me and he's like, "I've been at work and I started writing to this and I think it's really good. I'm super excited. You're still coming, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still coming." So I get there and he sang it for me, and right, that I was like, yes, this is exactly what I wanted. And initially I was supposed to go to the studio for another song, and it just so happened that there were a bunch of technical difficulties with the other beat, and so we're like, okay, we'll just work on this new one. He's like, "Yeah, I wrote to it." And it's just funny how things come together. And it was literally, I got there at 7 o'clock and was out of there by midnight, and we never had to like go back in, never had to redo any little things and touch it up. It was the easiest thing that I've ever done. I never knew it could be so easy because
Yeah.
I've had songs in the works for years, and I haven't released anything in a while. And so it was so refreshing to actually just go into the studio. He had the majority of it written, then I helped write the bridge and obviously helped tweak the melody and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And it was so easy. And so it just came together so perfectly.
Yeah, and I can only imagine it was like a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
To be able
Yeah.
to, get something done so quickly and have it be, as successful as it is now.
Yeah, well, thank you. We're trying. We're trying to push it as hard as we possibly can. My boyfriend off to the corner, he started a social media marketing company, and he started it with my Instagram account.
Oh, nice.
And so he's grown mine, and once he started seeing that it was working for me, he started working with hundreds of other singers, especially to help them grow their careers. And so we have all these different marketing strategies that we've come up with, and especially on Instagram. Instagram is a huge platform for music, believe it or not.
Yeah, for sure.
It's really helped me out. Just posting covers on Instagram gained me enough traction to where I felt like I could release my own stuff. So
Yeah.
covers really helped me in that sense.
Yeah, and speaking of covers, how has doing covers on Instagram helped you grow as an artist?
Well, it makes you a diverse artist because I can take a rap song and flip it to be my own, and
Yeah.
I like doing that. And so I do a lot of that, and now I'm just excited to have my own music to push because
Yeah.
it's been so long since I released a song. It's actually been like 3 years or so
Wow.
since I actually released my own music officially through all the streaming platforms and iTunes and all that. So,
Yeah.
So it's been a while. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you're an independent artist.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about that. What, makes you different from different artists that are actually, signed to a label as opposed to being independent?
I think being independent comes with a lot of responsibility that some of that weight is taken off your shoulders when you're signed to a major. I mean, there are positives and negatives
Yeah.
to both sides, but I've worked with companies and labels before, and unfortunately they just drag their feet.
Yeah.
And I work super fast. Like if you know anyone who's worked with me, like if you give me a task, it's done yesterday.
Yeah.
Like that's how I am. And so maybe that's too much for people
Mhm.
because I like to get things done so quickly and efficiently. And so being an independent artist, it's hard, but I think it comes with a lot of perks because you can be creative and you can have that creative control over your music and labels now. Like once I started really doing my research to see what was worth it, they take like 80%. That's a
Yeah,
lot.
that is a lot.
80 to 90%.
Mhm.
So giving up that much of your music and touring, obviously they give you that backing with financially,
Mhm.
but it's hard to recoup that.
Yeah.
So being independent has shown me a lot, and I think it's been a growing, just a system of growth where you
Yeah.
just have to keep taking those steps. And once I realized, like, I can do this,
Mhm.
I can do it on my own, and
Yeah.
you just need to build the team around you. Once I started, it sounds stupid, but making the circle smaller and
Yeah.
just really hanging out with like-minded people, everything switched.
Mhm.
So now I literally have just a group of maybe 5 to 10 people max
Mhm.
that really are involved, and it's made life so much easier. It's hard for me to even give up any responsibility because I'm like I've been
Yeah.
doing this myself for so
Yeah.
long that it's hard for me to give that up,
And it
but it
also
feels
gives you
good.
the freedom to, be creative on your own. A lot of the times, when artists are signed to labels, they get that taken away from them.
Yeah, even
They.
with Pink,
Mhm.
I mean, her love and her passion was more pop rock music, but
Yeah.
when she came onto the scene, she had to do R&B because that's
Yeah.
what was in at the
Mhm.
time. But
Mhm.
then once she got a name for herself, she was
Mhm.
able to do what she wanted, and I want to be able to do what I want now,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
Mhm.
So if you can do that yourself, it's so worth it. You see Chance the Rapper winning 3 Grammys, and it's like,
Mhm.
holy crap.
Mhm.
This I keep saying this, but it was the best Grammys I've ever watched
Yeah.
because it was so motivating to me, and I'm sure a bunch of other independent artists.
And I
Because
bet that inspires you,
oh, yeah, it's
so much.
incredible to see what he does and just kind of follow in his footsteps. Even though he's a rapper, it doesn't
Mhm.
really matter. It's the
Yeah.
same steps that you need to take to build a team, and I'm constantly just researching and learning as much as I possibly can. I
Mhm.
have, I guess you could call kind of a management type team. My boyfriend's been more of the social media management
Mhm.
and a little bit of management, and then I have another guy, Fred, who shout out to Fred. He's been helping me, and he sends me links all the time, just
Mhm.
inspirational stuff. Like,
Yeah.
okay, learn this. Okay, this is how Jay-Z built his team. This is how so and so, just successful people and how they did it. And
Mhm.
so I'm constantly watching YouTube video after YouTube video of inspirational type things that I can just learn from
Yeah.
and take it on for myself.
Mhm. Awesome. So a little bit about how you began. When did you realize that you wanted to be a singer?
Well,
I know that
if you
question
take
is
it far
so.
back, if you take it far back, the real story is when I was in 3rd grade in the church choir, my friend next to me heard me singing. We were all singing Silent
Mhm.
Night together, and
Yeah.
she was like, "Lip, I think you might actually be a pretty good singer." And I was like, "No, no, 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 no." And she's like, "No, I think you should try out for the solo." I was like, "No way, no way, I'm too scared." And she's like, "Okay, okay." So then the next practice, the choir director asked who wanted to do a solo, and she raised my hand for me, and the choir director was like, "Olivia, come on up." And I was shaking like a leaf, so scared. But ever since I got past that one song and I was like literally shaking with the mic, I just
Yeah.
loved performing, and thank God for her raising my
Mhm.
hand, because who knows if,
Yeah.
I mean, I always had a love for it, and even when I was little, like, you could see home videos when I was 2. I had the little
Mhm.
microphone and I'd be singing, but I was always more on the shyer side when it
Yeah.
came to actually I wasn't one of those little girls like in Dance Moms where
Yeah.
they're just like in the makeup and just all spotlight on me. I wasn't like that. I just kind of would play with my Barbies and sing to myself, and then people would hear me if I
Yeah.
was on play dates. But that's where it really started, was church, and then I started taking it seriously when I was about 15 or 16. Started doing the talent shows, and then started getting my mom started putting stuff on YouTube and started to get a little recognition on there, and started to do shows and at clubs and bars in Boston and New York, and it just kind of snowballed from there. And I can't live without it. It's
Yeah.
this hunger that's in me.
It's
Like
a
I
part of
can't.
you.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, I'm sure everyone has something that they're passionate about, and this is it for me. I can't imagine my life without it. Like people, when I see people after a long time, they're like, "Oh, you still singing?" Like if I ever had to say like, "No, I gave up," like that would be the worst thing.
Yeah.
And I
I'm sure it'll
can't.
crush you.
Yeah, I can't do that. So I'm gung ho. I'm all in. So I'm hoping that this debut single can give me a little traction and you know, get me to the next level where I need to be.
All right, awesome. Well, for those of you who don't know, Olivia King is also an entrepreneur. Want to tell me a little bit about your business?
Sure. So I started, and it was more of just a merchandise line. I started just with hats, with beanies, and I was talking to my brother. This was maybe 4 years ago, and I said, "What's a cool word that I could put on a hat? I just want something inspirational." And he was like, "Well, in school today, I learned about the word word. It was spelled WYRD," and I was like, "What does it mean?" He's like, "It means you create your own destiny based on your actions." And I was like, "That's cool," and it kind of has to do with my music and what I'm all about. And so I put it on hats, and they kind of circulated the URI campus, and I started seeing them around, and that was cool. So then I started really getting into more the entrepreneurial side of it, and started selling it on my website through my music. And then about 2 years ago, I realized that my target audience was younger girls, and we did a show, a festival in East Greenwich, and there were thousands of people there, and it wasn't a paid show or anything. We were like, oh, kind of, we get up there, and all the kids went nuts, and it was the best show we ever did. Like, I would do it 1,000 times again, because these kids, they literally thought we were famous. like that's how they acted. We got off the stage and they swarmed us. We're like,
Oh my
what is
goodness.
good? Do they think we're like, just because I sang a Taylor Swift song that I'm Taylor Swift? Are they getting this confused? Well, we ate it up. We're like, okay, sure. So they were taking pictures with us, and after that, they just spammed my social media. I was like, okay, we're doing something right with this crew, so we gotta keep the momentum going.
Yeah.
And that's when he came on with the social media, and we were able to target people on social media that were of that age group.
Yeah.
And it's really young girls, 13 to 18. So back to entrepreneurial side, I decided to obviously cater my music towards to them, but then also I'm way into fashion, so I wanted to create some different things that they could be involved in the creation of. So I put together groups, and they call themselves King Squads. And on,
That's so cute.
on Instagram, you can
Yeah.
put together groups of 15 people in a group message. So I put together all these groups, and they're just like my little friends that I go to when I need something. So
Yeah.
they're little girls, but they're way into it. So I started asking them, what kind of stuff would you guys like to buy? What are you into? What kind of apps are you into? They're just my little support system. And so they were like necklaces, earrings. They gave me all this stuff. So then I started with that. And so I was trying to come up with a name, and I really wanted something with rain, like a king's rain, but I wanted it to be girly. So my mom was like, "How about Sugar Rain?" I was like, "Perfect."
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, so that's kind of where that came out of, and now it's developed more into like an Etsy type of site where sellers can sell their items on my site.
Awesome.
So it kind of takes a load off of my shoulders,
Yeah.
because I don't have to buy 100 shirts and then they don't sell.
Yeah.
Or it's just whatever is selling for another seller, they can sell on my site, and then I obviously have my own items as well. So anything that's in that vibe, I let them come and sell on my site and give them the exposure and promote it on the Sugar Rain Instagram. And that was really just inspired by all these little girls that loved what I was doing, and they were gung ho. They wanted to be involved, and as soon as I started these groups, they just went crazy, and they're like my little online street teams.
Aw.
So they're awesome.
Yeah.
Shout out to the King squads. I don't want to be like one of those
Yeah.
artists that's like, my monsters. Like,
Who is that? Lady Gaga?
Yeah, Lady Gaga.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
To see how, your music also inspires your merchandise,
Yeah.
and how they both tie into each other. So that's
Yeah.
awesome.
I had some of the girls, they didn't realize that I had, like, once I first put everything on the site, they were like, someone stole our idea with the crown earrings, Sugar Rain. I'm like, guys, no, that's the new name. I created it. I created the own site. They're like, oh, okay.
They had a little panic attack.
So mad. We created that together. I'm like, okay, calm down. It's ours.
Yeah.
Don't worry, that's the site.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. So they're way into it. Just having that support system and having, like, I can literally give them whatever questions I need, and they answer it. Like, for instance, when I was releasing this song, I said, where do you guys listen to your new music? And every single one of them said Spotify, and
Yeah.
I was surprised. But they're from all around the world, and Spotify is super popular. I mean, it's super popular here, but it's even more popular overseas.
Yeah.
So not one, I thought they were going to say iTunes or YouTube, but every single one of them said Spotify. So then I was like, okay, now that's where we got to push it.
Yeah.
So just having those groups to tell you what they want and how they want it, it makes life easier.
Yeah.
So they're awesome.
That's awesome. So what do we see? What do you think we're going to see from you in the next couple of months, year?
Well,
what's a short-term goal?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure you'll hear me say this in other interviews, but seeing that, like, now a Beyonce album can't go platinum was a huge thing for me. Like, okay, I love making a full project, and musical people like listening to a full project, but the majority of people just want to hear hits, and they just want singles. They want one song that they know they like, that they can play and go right to, and they don't have to fish for it in an album and try to find it. In today's day and age, people want things now, and they want it fast, and they want it to be great. So the plan is to release a single 1 month, the next month follow up with the video for that single, then release another single. So it's a single every 2 months and a video following up that single every 2 months. So we're just gonna try to pump out singles, and I'm working with a bunch of different producers and songwriters, and hopefully we're on track to get this next one going. So we have a few in the works that we'll be able to choose from, and hopefully we can just strategically come out with them depending on how people react to the previous ones.
Yeah,
So
for sure. So we should expect to see more, consistency
Yeah.
when it
Yeah.
comes to music.
So finally it's like now, like you were saying, like taking it on independently, you can do things at your own pace. And
Yeah.
I like to work fast, and so pumping out music is a huge thing for me right now. So that's really all I'm focused on,
And will it be more covers or more of your
it'll
own
be all
work?
original.
Original.
Yeah, so it'll
Okay.
be all original stuff. So I'll of course throw in a cover or two here and there on
Yeah.
Instagram, like I was doing. I was trying to do one once a week, so that was interesting.
Yeah.
But that gets a little old after a while, and people want to hear you and the creative part of you. So
Yeah.
a lot of people didn't know that I songwrite or that I do it on my own. I like to be there when the beat is creative from the ground up. Like I like to be involved in every single aspect that goes into a song. And so just being able, because a lot of people ask me, oh, what artist would you compare yourself to? And I hate that question.
Yeah.
Because
Because
I don't.
everybody's so different.
Well, yeah, and I
Yeah.
don't want to be compared to one specific artist. I just want to be uniquely me. And so coming out with my own music, it'll make that a lot easier, and people won't be asking that anymore.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it'll just be like, okay, yeah, this is her. I want it to be when they hear my voice, they know it's me, and they know that's my style. And so I really, once I started hitting into those young girls, I went more pop soul than hip hop R&B, and that's what really gave me the traction
Yeah.
and got me going up.
Yeah, for sure. I know you mentioned Beyonce. Who inspires you as an artist?
I mean, obviously Beyonce is one of the greats,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
performance-wise, like I study her. I study Tinashe, people that dance and sing at the same time.
Okay.
Because dance is a huge part of my live act, and so that's definitely one thing that I study over and over and over. Just live performances of singers who do both.
Yeah.
Because it's a tough task, and I think it was like maybe 2 years ago I did a show every weekend. It was a 4-hour set, and
Oh,
I
wow.
was singing and dancing. That whipped my butt into shape because
Yeah.
singing and dancing is no joke.
I can only imagine.
It's
It looks
no
it
joke.
looks so hard
No, and
to do.
Yeah, so it got my stamina up. I mean, it's a task. So definitely Beyonce is one.
So a wide array of artists who do both, basically.
Yeah, and as far as style-wise, I've been a huge Lauryn Hill fan since I can remember. My mom showed me her when I was little, and I was just captivated by her. And
Yeah.
it kind of came full circle this year. I got my mom Lauryn Hill tickets for the two of us in Boston, and just to be able to see her in person, and my mom was the one who showed me her and really helped develop my personal style and music was pretty awesome. She's just a legend. She literally came out with one album and became a legend.
Yep.
Like, how does that happen? No, like, it's the Jay-Z's
Yes,
of the
it's
world
when,
that
yeah.
win 20 billion Grammys, not Lauryn Hill that comes out with one album and just drops the mic.
Yeah, yeah.
But she's a huge inspiration for me, and she's just, her creativity and the way she writes, just stylistically, she's amazing, and her tone and just everything about her. She just got a cool factor to her.
Yeah.
So she's definitely one of the number ones. And then obviously the Michael Jacksons of the world, and I'm way into Music Soul Child, just the people that really have that soul in their music and that you can
Yeah.
feel.
Yeah, and you
when
can
they're
tell
singing.
by your music that, it is inspired by soul and those
Yeah.
types of artists. So,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ever since I was little.
yeah. Okay, so what is a fun fact that no one knows
That no
about
one
you?
knows. I've developed a weird obsession with cats. I hated cats. I hated cats my whole life. I was scared to death of them.
They're so creepy.
They're so creepy and so
Like, I don't
weird.
understand
you,
how
you
people
can't you
like
can't
cats.
you can't you never know their next move. They're so stinking creepy. And I was a nanny a few years ago, and the little girl, I had her since she was little, and I felt like I raised her and she was my baby. And then she moved to Kentucky, and I was heartbroken. I was like, I need something to care for.
Yeah.
I need something cuddly, but I don't have time for a dog. And so I'm like looking into things, and it came up Persian cats. Super simple to take care of. They just want to chill with you. You don't have to really do much. They're like a live stuffed animal. I'm like, all right, I'm sold. I started researching every night, where can I find these cats? They're like
Yeah.
overseas. I'm like, how the hell am I going to find one? I found a breeder that literally lived 2 minutes down the road from my house, like so random. And now I have my little Josie, so
Oh,
she's
that's
my...
crazy. Wait, so you went from
I
hating cats.
I still don't
to
like
owning a
cats. I only
cat.
like mine. I still don't like cats. If I go over to someone's house and they have a cat, I'm like,
Yeah.
kitty. But yeah, so that's a weird fact about me, because I never liked cats. I was always a dog person. And I
Yeah.
still probably am a dog person, but all of a sudden I was like, needed something to take care of, and had that weird motherly instinct, but I was not ready for kids by any means. So
Yeah.
I needed a cat, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I
so
guess
there you
I'll
go.
look into Persian cats.
Yeah, Persian cat. They have like this mushed faces,
Oh my
and
goodness.
they're like the ones
Now I
in the
have
movies.
to see a picture of a Persian cat.
You have to see a picture of mine.
Yeah.
She is the cutest. I love her so much.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're going to wrap this up. It was a pleasure to
Thank
have
you so much.
and have, this conversation and learn more about, where you're from. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. You're the best.